Welcome to the second edition of AUP7 News. I'm Jaclyn Currier.
And I'm Mandina. As the European continent faces heightened terror alerts, locals and students alike face new security measures both on and off campus. Officials say France, Britain, and Germany have the highest potential for attack, and the Eiffel Tower has been evacuated twice in September. Sarah Costlow has our top story.
With recent increases in the terrorist threat level, both American and European officials identified tourist areas and public transportation as main targets. With AUP's close proximity to the Eiffel Tower and traveling being a popular pastime among students, the question of how serious the recent warnings are has crossed many students' minds. Undeterred by recent threats, Parisians and tourists still continue to crowd the Eiffel Tower. One student visiting Paris from NYU London saw no reason to change his travel plans.
Studying in New York, it's very similar. So coming between New York, London, and Paris, I think the terrorism alert is similar, if not the same. Stuff like coming to the Eiffel Tower, taking the train, going on a bus, going to various landmarks. I'm going to do that regardless of what's happening.
Another traveler we spoke with questioned the intentions of the terrorism alerts. She said they create a culture of fear, possibly to distract civilians from other problems the countries are facing. A student from Miami University of Ohio studying in Luxembourg also has her suspicions about the purpose of the alerts.
I feel like everything has some sort of political agenda behind it. And, I mean, whether it's for our safety or not.
While some question the government, Guillaume Libans, who lives in Paris, does what he can to avoid the threats.
Just avoid the biggest places or what you feel or what you think is gonna blow, and you'll be alright. But the thing is that don't be there at that time.
Despite the range of reactions to the terrorism alerts, the students we spoke with on campus said they are also trying to avoid crowded areas and are staying cautious and aware of their surroundings. Sarah Costlow, AUP7.
Thanks, Sarah. In addition, University President Celeste Schenk says that the university has been in contact with the security office of the U.S. Embassy, the Parisian Police Department, as well as the mayor's office of the 7th arrondissement. Please contact Student Affairs, located in Bosquet, with any issues. On campus, a recycling effort is underway, but certain students have concerns. Katie Kelly reports.
If you were confused like this student about why the trash cans are emptied and turned around, it is because you can no longer use most of them on campus. AUP has recently started a new recycling effort on campus. According to the SGA president Sam Yeha, this makes the university the first in France to implement a comprehensive recycling program.
Doing that whole broad spectrum of recycling and reducing and reusing, glass, paper, plastic, what we call, compost or regular waste trash.
Yeha also noted that more efforts need to be made on the part of the students in deciding where to put their trash. He made it clear earlier this week by emailing a recycling how-to guide to all of the students. In it, he notes that there may be some confusion among the student body on where to throw the trash. According to the students that we spoke with, he is right.
Whenever I have a piece of trash to throw away, I always get a little confused, which trash can I put it in?
All of the students we spoke with support the recycling program. But as an undergraduate student suggested, mixed items in bins may be the result of carelessness.
I think everyone says they care, but I'd say probably 30% of people actually do care.
Whether or not students really care about recycling, they're expected to do it on campus. The SGA president is confident in the student body and hopeful about the future. But in order for the program to become a success, he says we all need to remember to think before we throw. Katie Kelly, AUP7.
Thanks for clearing that up, Katie. In other environmental news, as a result of the confusion, specific students and organizations are taking matters into their own hands. Ashley Pittson has the details.
Trash. It's something every major city has to deal with, and each does in its own way. At the American University of Paris, the brand new recycling program is still working out kinks with some students confused over where to put their waste. But what happens when things end up in the wrong bin, and even the recycling ends up in the trash? Pierre Bach, an initiator of recycling on campus, explained.
As we learn to recycle better, and they will lose waste less and less time in sorting the waste before it's recyclable, they will lower the fee.
Bach said it will take communication and convenience to really get recycling rolling. Glass recycling has been happening at the Amex, AUP's on-campus restaurant, for over 5 years. The representatives said they see it all, from apathetic litter bugs to diligent recyclers.
Above all, I think it's going to take a little bit more time, and yeah, so that everybody, I mean, I find myself in me getting confused sometimes, and just like there are so many bins for so many things, but it's going to take some time, obviously.
Yeah, but it's a very good initiative, right?
Yeah.
Paper waste is another environmental issue, especially at universities. So far this calendar year, the AUP IT department bought 300,000 pages for the Grinnell lab alone. This is enough paper to cover the area of the Champ de Mars. Graduate students find it especially difficult, with classes requiring printing hundreds of pages per week. Some are turning to high-tech alternatives such as Kindles and iPads.
It was literally about not wanting to carry around pages. The environmental incentive is nice, but honestly, it's the convenience factor for me. I think that's the same way with a lot of things that we do when we're trying to be environmentally conscious. It's got to be something that's going to be easier for us to do anyway.
Whether it's saving paper in the computer labs or bottles in the Amex, green initiatives are budding all over campus. This is Ashley Pittson for AUP7.
Thanks, Ashley. In other student concerns, our own Jaclyn Currier examines a growing gripe among students about the tech savviness of their professors. Here's her story now.
Does your professor stumble and fumble around the computer or projector in your class? Are you frustrated with losing your tuition euros due to technologically challenged professors at AUP? Well, you're not alone. Students are becoming increasingly annoyed with the time wasted in class while professors attempt to work the tech equipment. One student describes one of her incidents with a professor.
I decided to help him and put the cord into the computer, and it actually worked, but it was for 25 minutes that we had to wait for the teacher to figure out how to work it.
When problems do occur, professors may even run out of lecture to seek help. It is common to believe that the IT department handles these inquiries. However, the multimedia department at AUP is in charge of the smart classrooms and their problems. The department is composed of one full-time employee, Mathieu Mata, and 3 student assistants. It is also in charge of the checking out and maintenance of the multimedia equipment, as well as the teaching of editing for all students at AUP, the filming of events, in addition to the work on future university projects. Mata stated that there are no classes to teach professors how to use the equipment, though he's constantly receiving emails, phone calls, and desperate run-ins from professors who are unable to work the equipment properly.
The problem is professors are very busy, and getting them to do that would be difficult, and finding a time when several of them could do it together.
But not all students have lost time in class due to tech-inept teachers.
I think I've been pretty lucky with that.
With tuition prices averaging 24,000 euros a year, time is money here at AUP. If a professor interrupts class for 15 minutes trying to work the technology equipment, he or she loses 22 euros of the student's paid tuition. Average size classroom is 14 students, which makes for every 15 minutes lost a 333 euro loss in tuition fees. This has been Jaclyn Currier reporting, AUP7 News.
Well, that's scary to think about. Speaking of scary, Halloween is just around the corner, and while it's not a holiday typically celebrated in France, AUP is hosting a multitude of events. On Wednesday, October 21st, from 7 to 10, the Graduate Student Council is hosting a cocktail event in the Grand Salon. Students are encouraged to spice up their wardrobes for the party.
Also, AUP Parties is organizing AUP Halloween Night, Tuesday, October 26th at Les Planches. Tickets can be purchased in advance at the Amex for 10 euros. This event will include a costume party as well as a photo booth. Well, that's all for this edition of AUP7 News.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in 7.